Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Esoterica and our continuing series, the Unported playlist, where we take a look at 10 of my favorite unported arcade games. And today it's Bubble Memories. I love the entire Bubble Bobble series, and that is a mouthful to say, but I had the original game on the NES, and this is one of my favorite games of all time. It's cute, it's colorful, it's Bubble Bobble, what more do you expect? Now, spoiler alert, technically I'm cheating a little bit on this because this game did come out as a Korean-only PC release. I have it, and it is rare as rare gets. It's not expensive, I mean I got it for $15, but I've never seen another copy for sale since I bought this over 3 years ago. And I did check with the Korean collector, he did verify that it came out, it's in databases in Korea, so it's not a bootleg, but if you ever find one, consider yourself lucky. So for that reason alone, the fact that you'll probably never see it again, the easiest way to play it is in MAME, and honestly, I'm still considering it unported because you're never going to find that copy. But as far as the gameplay is concerned, what can I really tell you about Bubble Bobble? Everyone's played it. If you're watching my channel, I'm sure you played it at least once. But the overall goal is you trap the enemies in bubbles and then you pop them. But that's not so much where the challenge in this game comes from. As far as the gameplay mechanics are concerned, you know how to play the game. It's not that challenging. But what's really interesting for the series as a whole, and Bubble Memories specifically, is that there is a metagame underneath the entire game. Now, if you just play through this game and you don't find any of the secrets, you're going to get an ending, but it's not going to be the good ending. And there are multiple endings for pretty much every game in the series. And as you will see very shortly, there are hidden potions in each stage that you need to acquire if you're going to see the best ending. When you see it go by, you know it's in the stage, but you don't know where. And the only way to discover where that potion is going to be is you need to go over every square inch of the screen until it pops up. If you miss even one potion, you are not going to get the best ending. And even the original Bubble Bobble had certain parameters where you had to beat so many stages without taking damage, or else you couldn't see the ending. You see I got the potion there, I did die, but that's what you need to do. You need to go over the entire screen before that shows up. And there's plenty of FAQs online. If you want to see the best ending, you can find out what stages the potions are in, but that's kind of the gist of it. Now in this game you do have that mega bubble. If you hold down your bubble shot button, you can blow a larger bubble, and that'll get many more enemies in the bubble at once, and then you're going to get larger fruits to eat. And a lot of the component of this game that makes it really interesting and challenging is it's actually really like a high score battle. Getting the best ending is hard. Getting a really good score and knowing how to actually score in the game is really a large component of it. As far as the boss fights are concerned, they really aren't that challenging, especially in early stages. I didn't play through the entire game. I've done it 100 times, I swear to God. But the boss fights are fun, they're challenging, but they're really not going to beat you up too much. I die more on the stages themselves than I do on the boss fights, and I'm 99% sure I don't take a single hit from a boss the entire capture that I play through. But really, I love this game. I can't say more about it to really sell you on it. I love Bubble Bobble. I love the entire Puzzle Bobble series. Taito, however you want to say it, had a great way of making these games. So as far as if you want to collect is concerned, it's available on the F3 motherboard, and I do own one of those, but I will say capturing it is impossible. It uses a refresh rate that the FrameMeister doesn't understand, that the OSSC doesn't understand. It is a very weird board, so definitely don't buy it unless you know what you're doing and you have professional equipment to be able to actually play it, because what you may find is you plug the board in and you just get a scrolling screen and you think it's broken. So as far as ease of use is concerned, playing this in an emulator is definitely going to be your best bet. But now that I've kind of prefaced the game, I've given a little history, told you about the Korean version, I'm going to let you hear some of the music because the soundtrack in this is absolutely outstanding. But I will come back in about a minute. I got another potion there. We're well on our way to getting the best ending, and we'll talk a little bit more about Bubble Memories. But enjoy the music and watch me pop some monsters. I do love that in the previous stage you get that little bit of a swimming mechanic. They did a little bit more with this game than they did with Bubble Symphony or the original Bubble Bobble, but it's still so close to the original that you can really pick up and play. Get a power up here, you're a giant bub, a lot of fun. But really, this is a game that everyone should play, and it's a game that doesn't get talked about near as much as the original Bubble Bobble or even Bubble Symphony, which was ported over to the Sega Saturn as well as on a PC release. These games, they're not the most complex. Granted, there's the meta game with collecting the potions, there's some puzzles to solve, there's a score attack, but it's not the most in-depth game. I'm not going to lie to you and say it's obscenely complex, but the amount of fun I have playing this game is one of the reasons why it's one of my favorite games of all time, not just unported arcade games, but just general games. And if you have a two-player match, if you're playing with friends, if you're playing with a spouse, with kids, there's just a ton of fun to be had the entire way around, and that's why I highly recommend this game. And now we have beaten the second boss. And you see, as we beat them, you get all the gems, but those potions do come up, and that is what is required to go ahead and get the best ending of the game. You can get extra life by doing the extend, and you get a lot of different candies and power-ups that you can use to power up Bubble Bob and to be able to make him play better. But like I said, the game is simple, except it's complex when it needs to be, and it is infinitely fun, colorful, and just an amazing experience overall. So I definitely recommend you go and you emulate this game. If you're a hardcore collector, maybe start scouring the Korean market and trying to find something over there. But I know this game's unlike anything else I put on the playlist, but I absolutely had to have it on there because it's just one of those games that makes me love video games. It's one of those things I remember from my childhood, and it's just a great, enjoyable time. But short of that, it really is a shorter episode of the Unported playlist because once I've shown you Bubble Bobble, shown you Bubble Memories, talked about it, there really isn't much more to say. I definitely, like I said, go out, play it, enjoy it yourself. But we'll be back on Tuesday with our entry in our mainline series, and we will be back on Friday as well with another video in our technical series. But stop back on Sunday to see another one of my favorite unported arcade games. Short of that, we hope you have a great rest of your weekend and an awesome week. See you next time. Bub says bye too.